Alright, I'm going to go kayaking finally. The wind is not really going to die down, so I'm going to go anyway. Still have winds, probably up around 15, 12, 15, with gusts up occasionally to 20, I think. So here's a map of Jeff's maps showing the campsite I'm at, which is, I'm calling it Slice of the Moon boat site. And I have to go around from Spawning Bay down around the point there to go into Loon Bay and then on up to the Williams Lake portage. The distance I figure roughly 3 kilometers and probably a little more than that. And the portage itself, as you can see on the map, is 150 meters. So we're hoping that that will be usable. We'll find out when we get there. A little bit windier over here. I don't know how that's affecting the mic. Find that out when I get back. But it's a hard paddle upwind here towards the portage that I'm heading for. Pretty gusty. Winds are at least 20 in the gusts. Probably 15 steady. I'd like to get in the cover of those trees there. I don't know if they'll help me. A little bit, maybe. Got to get off the wind here. It's sending spray up on the cameras. It let up and now it's blowing to beat heck again. Pretty shallow here. I can see weeds. I'm jammed into this kayak. Barely fit in here with all my gear. I should have put more in the trunk. There was some room there and I kept it in the pack, and unfortunately that's stuffed them in here too much. For this little tiny lake, there's some pretty good shop. With this much wind, I'm not going to be able to fly the drone, but if I can't, I can't. Now it's letting up again. You get these gusts, and they really press hard. No, it's not too bad. The question is going to be if I can find the portage when I get up here, and hopefully it's not all swamp, because if it is, that'll be the end of that. And for the portage, hopefully it's coming up soon. There's actually 2 portages up here, but the first one I should come across is the one I'm looking for. Fortunately, even though the wind is still gusty, it's fairly flat here. I feel more comfortable paddling today than I thought I would. Thought I'd be pretty pooped, but actually, even with the wind, the distance isn't that long, and it was a fairly easy paddle. Now, I just hope I can find this portage. Saw a loon, and I think I heard a beaver, but other than that, I haven't seen any moose. It looks like decent moose country. A lot of lily pads, and they like that. But the lily pads are actually flowering a little bit too, so anyway, I better look at the chart here and see where I'm at. Yeah, it looks like I'm coming into it here. There's a little creek coming in, and I'm guessing that the landing will be close by here. So white flowers on the lily pad flowers on the water. It's kind of pretty. Well, I think I see a portage. It doesn't look very pretty, but we'll take a look at it. From this distance, it's hard to tell. But it looks like I can see where people have tramped up through the woods there. So.
right straight ahead there. Looks a little muddy, so we'll see how that goes. Not really great, but until I get up there and look, I don't know. It looks like the trail right there, so kind of over there. Well, I'm stuck. I'm gonna try to go over to the other lake here. It's not too that far, so, but it's like the one I found last year that was just a little bit too. We're on the trail again. I'm not sure how far I'm gonna go. Lost my locator beacon, fell out of the pocket, I guess, when I was trying to get out of the kayak, and ended up ripping it off its holster. Might have ripped a hole in it because I tried to put it back in, and all it did was rip a hole in it, or I fell off on the ground again. So yeah, this may be futile. There's another tree across what looks like the portage. I won't go much further if I can't get improvement here. It looks like it's getting worse. This is definitely not a kayak trail, that's for sure. Well, I should have used the one that Mike suggested. That was, I think it was 890 meters. But I got to be a little careful here because I could lose track of where I'm at. This woods is thick and I'm not seeing any reasonable trail. Kind of bushwhacking right now, so. Big log across the trail. Well, actually, I think I found it. The lake. But it was not, definitely wouldn't bring the kayak across. I'm gonna have enough trouble getting out of the landing. There were rocks. Well, there's even a canoe here again. So people must use it. Yeah. But a little short canoe. It's like about a 12-footer. But lots of wind, too much to fly the drone. And that's unfortunate. Pretty though. I don't see any critters over there. Small lake, but it would have been fun to, if it wouldn't have been such of a terrible portage. Well, I'll walk back and show you the how I had to deal with getting aboard. But you can here see what kind of a mess I have to deal with here getting in and out. This is like moose shit. It's just mucky and soft. If I don't step on those rocks, which there are a few of, I get soaked right up to the knees. So far I've managed to not do that, but as you can see, there's not much. There's either rocks or there's mud, and it's very difficult. I had a heck of a time maneuvering through those rocks to find even a close enough to where I can step on those first rocks there on the edge of the water. So not fun. So we'll see if we can make this without catastrophe. All right, after a great deal of struggle, I was able to get out of there. I had to put down some logs at the portage unloading point to just get back on the kayak and get it out over the rocks, because the rocks were everywhere. Too much wind to fly. I could have maybe flown the drone if it was a little more calm, but it wasn't. And I couldn't portage a kayak. The trail was almost unusable. I couldn't. I found a canoe on the other side, but there was no discernible trail. I couldn't have gotten a kayak through there without. There was trees down, several trees, and it was just unworkable. So anyway, we tried. I worked up a sweat. Probably have to go swimming or take a shower today. I don't know if the water's warm enough to swim, but I'll maybe give that a shot and see. Had a heck of a ride coming. I tried to get on that, get the kayak loaded and get out of there without getting wet or mud up to my knees. But I succeeded for the most part. So. But it was a struggle. And now it seems like the wind has dropped a little bit, which it was supposed to. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll try some different drone shots at the boat tonight. But a nice kayak anyway. I don't know what the distance is. I figured 3 kilometers or so. At least the wind is behind me going back, so we'll get a little quicker ride, at least for this segment of the lake. When I turn around and go the other way around the corner here, it's going to be into the wind again. So. But it's dropped. I don't feel those gusts that I had earlier, so should be okay. Coming back up the east arm of Spawning Bay, back to the homestead on what I'll call Sliver of the Moon Island. There's a little bit of a beat against the wind here again, coming up this bay, and which didn't help, but we're arriving here close to home now, so it's calming down a little bit. The island is kind of protecting me a little bit. Not happy with the mount that I'm using. Probably shows in the video. It's unfortunate because it's just too much wobbliness to it. Kind of a unique island. Yeah, it's shallow right here. I better be careful or I'll end up running around. Big shoal coming out from the end of that island. Well, the boat doesn't look any worse for the wear while I was gone. It looks like my solar panel is still in place up on the cabin roof. Hopefully it's done a good job of recharging my solar battery, which I use to charge the film equipment, which I'm using right now, and the phone, Osmo Mobile 2, the drones, camera, a little bit of everything, music. So it's a helpful device if I can get it to charge, but you gotta have some sun to do it. So there's the homestead from a kayak's point of view.